I just remember, make a hustle play, try to get us the ball back, and then, try to do something good. And then I dove on this loose ball that Reggie Jones dribbled off his foot.
I didn't see anybody coming from the other side, and then one side decided to I was going to just scoop the ball up and go down the court for a layup or a dunker. So,
and they met at that critical point where Taylor's head hit Jeremie's knee.
Tyler laid out with that banged knee, and Taylor Persons at midcourt a little worse for wear.
I was sad because he was bleeding from the head, and his eye was he had bruises all over his face, and it looked like he had gotten into a car crash.
When I looked and I saw the amount of blood and I saw that I knew he had a bad cut on his head, I immediately thought of that.
That was a 1998 game against Xavier when Ball State associate head coach Jason Grunkemeyer played for Miami. And it's still the third image that appears on Google when you search his name.
Instead of by me, the direction he decided to go was kind of through me, and he caught my legs as I was in the air and completely flipped me. And I landed, literally the full brunt of my body landed on the back of my head. I was knocked unconscious. I was out for about 15 seconds.
Yeah, we just talked about it today, that little picture, how he went through it too, and it was kind of funny. He's definitely a tough guy.
Who played the next game several days later. But the next game the next day? Without Persons, the Cardinals rallied to beat Western Michigan and advanced to the MAC semis a short 25 hours later, 8 of which Persons spent in the hospital.
I got a scan for my neck and my head to make sure nothing was broke or fractured, and then actually everything checked out good, and then I actually found out that I had a broken nose from a long time ago, so it was kind of funny. I could tell that it was old.
Certainly did not expect the hospital to clear him from a concussion standpoint, and that's what I really felt like he was going to have some kind of residual effects from that. And then came back later that evening and talking with his dad, and Dr. Matchett had actually talked to the attending physician that took care of him and said, yeah, we're going to leave it up to you guys whether or not he can play or not. So at that point I did kind of a little concussion exam in the hotel room, which he passed with flying colors, and then we're going to wait till the next morning to see how he did.
Miraculously, no immediate signs of concussion. It just looked like Persons had gone 5 rounds with Conor McGregor.
At first I was like, I didn't think he should have put that on Twitter because, it did look like he had gotten into a car crash or something.
It just looked really bad.
I thought it was funny, too, because it made it seem like it was something else happened, and it made it kind of worse.
But it really wasn't worse. Friday morning, still no signs of concussion, even after exertional testing, basketball drills, and some mental stimuli.
In the hotel ballroom, taking him through some activity testing, some exertional testing to make sure if he had a headache or something that would come back. And I said, okay, tell me what happened the last 4 minutes of the Northern Illinois game. And he basically gave me almost a play-by-play of what happened.
I really didn't know how much of a chance I was going to be able to play at that moment. I did some tests, and he's like, there's an 80% chance you could play. And as soon as he told me that, in my head, I knew I was going to play.
How do we have people that don't look like they got hit at all, and they have a concussion, and we have a person that is basically bleeding from their forehead and doing those types of things, and they've got to have a concussion, and they don't? And really, it's all about signs and symptoms and how they act, and our we kind of gather all our information together, and we kind of put it together and say, yes, you have a concussion, or no, you don't.
He's strong enough in the head, apparently, to come back and play a full game against the best team in the conference.
Certainly, if there was anything medically wrong with him, no matter what his desire is or what his passion is, we're going to protect him and not let him go out and play. But if there was an opportunity for him to do that, if we told him, say, we can't find anything wrong with you, but I'm not going to let you play.
I would have regretted it awfully, and I would have felt awful if I didn't get that shot to get out there and play. I didn't feel that bad out there, so, I just would have felt awful if I didn't give it that chance.
And while the Cardinals fell short, Persons is back at practice this week gearing up for the CIT. Black eye, stitches protecting Karate Kid headband, bruised forehead, and no concussion. The legend of Persons grows. Joel Godet, Ball State All Access, and BallStateSports.com.